So welcome back. So we are still monitoring breaking news this morning.
Oh yeah, right there.
This is crazy.
Trying to capture the heart of the art of the city of San Antonio.
There you're watching him as he is stepping off the plane. There is President Biden along with Veronica Escobar.
Yeah, this is absolutely the hottest spot in town, and I'd say this is the hottest seat on the court right now. I can't imagine sitting here for the game. But listen, guys, it doesn't matter where you are in the stadium tonight. The energy is going to be unmatched everywhere.
At SeaWorld San Antonio, joined by a really cool friend of mine. Her name is Capri. There she is.
Well, Stacia, that hail you were talking about, it is still out here. Check this out, all around me. All this hail packed together in these stacks. We were driving down Junction Highway, saw this gas station, and we were like, is that actually hail? We thought maybe it was rocks out in the parking lot.
And you won't believe what you're about to see.
What will I see?
Oh, you are about to see a beautiful, stunning trapeze act right about now. She is about to go,
This is
I
nice.
want to say 20 feet up in the air. Now, we kindly ask everybody, please do not try any of this at home with your kids' swing, because she is a trained professional.
This horse here, little bit, what an amazing animal.
And yeah, we're having a lot of fun this morning here at an all-accessible theme park. Go ahead and take it away. You guys better be dancing at home too, rocking back and forth a little bit.
We have learned that the number of migrants is down 10,000 from Saturday.
A dazzling display back in full force again this year at the San Antonio Botanical Garden.
Of course, music performances, arts and crafts, and so much more, guys. How you can help support these fierce women of San Antonio.
But we have watched as this building continues to get ravaged by the fire. We watched as the roof is starting to collapse, pieces of it just completely falling apart. What you're looking at, again, we're just watching as part of this roof is about to collapse right now.
San Antonio Spurs Coyote named the 2020 NBA Mascot of the Year. And check it out, this is how he's celebrating. Really the best way that we can in 2020, right? With a solo, socially distanced parade of his own.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ludacris is playing tonight after the rodeo. Come out to the rodeo, have a lot of fun, watch him.
All the prepping is underway for the big fight tomorrow night. And look how large this sculpture is, guys. It's over 27,000 pounds. Is that right? I'm here with Lisa to talk about this incredible exhibit. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming out to San Antonio Botanical Garden this morning.
For 15 years.
Strengthening emotional awareness through experiential arts education.
A single street has connected a school and an art gallery to a prolific purpose. Then a higher calling came their way.
Yeah, so Jesse was a very, very dear friend and a great loss. But
University Health asked the Benavides Art Gallery.
you know, I was a handler of his artwork, which was a pretty prestigious thing because not everybody could touch a Jesse Trevino.
To use fourth grade artists to reinterpret Jesse Trevino's La Curandera, while the original piece gets restored. The Briscoe Elementary School students are in the gallery's nonprofit called Studying Mindful Art Resources Together, or SMART.
When we teach them about San Antonio local artists and where they are, they just light up.
60 students made the trip across the street to learn how the artful Trevino lost his right hand in the Vietnam War, but it never severed his talent.
And when he got the arm, he started trying and trying and trying until he got really good.
He learned how to use his left hand to paint the stories of San Antonio.
He helped me learn that even if you have difficult challenges in the way, you could do whatever is your passion, you could do it.
The students got busy with their assignment, creating jars and drawers of magic medicine.
The kids came up with the concept to create the botanica with words that heal, because Smart believes that words are very healing.
Painted with laughs and love you, sunshine and smiles, hope and healing, puppies and music. And a healing woman wearing a mask, standing near the power of belief.
Even if you're not feeling well, you should always push through that.
Word of Trevino's illness got to the students, so they started making him get well cards, choosing to produce them with their non-dominant hand.
Yeah, when we asked him, why did you want to do that, Axel? And he said, because then Mr. Trevino won't feel so alone.
At the suggestion of this fourth grader.
Because I wanted to challenge myself and see how he felt.
One student wrote, "Dear Jesse, I'm sending you courage, strength, and dogs." Another wrote, "I hope you get well soon. Your artwork is the best. You are the most inspiring person." This student wrote, "You are my idol. I love your work. My brother Ellis thinks you hung the moon." Before the 76-year-old artist could get the cards or see the student's final version of his work, he died.
And that as quickly as we were done and he was gone, he was smiling on us, knowing that he isn't forgotten, that his legacy will live on. We'll continue to talk about him and teach about him.
Mm-hmm. Marvin Hurst, KINS 5.
We don't sell piñatas, we sell memories. My name is Sana and I'm the owner of Piñata Time. We work here with my sister and my 3 daughters.
Since it's a family business, I spend all my summers and after school working, whatever they want me to do. What's my role, Mama?
You are in charge. You're the boss, actually.
I'm the boss.
In Mexico, we own places like this. We came almost 10 years ago. We were able to get the business here. We try to be a one-stop shop so the customers are able to have, from here, go to the party. We have a little bit of everything, any animal, any character you might think of. The process is very simple. Just use flour and water like to make a glue. We use newspaper, cardboard, and some other material to build some basic shapes and then stick them together.
I have pictures of all my birthday parties with the piñata since I was a 1-year-old. My first piñata was Lion King.
In the old days, I think it was mainly La Posada and then, of course, on birthdays. But now in more recent days, I will say every occasion is good for a piñata.
My name is Patricia Sanchez and I'm a professor at UTSA and I'm also the department chair of Bicultural Bilingual Studies. It's always a symbol of joy, something that's actually in the Latino community, even intergenerational. If some of us even talk to some of the older generations in our Latino or Mexican American families, we know that the story of the piñatas, like my mom made me a piñata when I was 5 out of a clay pot and covered it with paper mache. But if we want to do like a little bit further back, some people who look at sort of these different practices are saying that the piñatas originated most likely in China. In Mexico, some of the scholars who've looked at this talk about the Aztecs who had a ritual with one of their gods, Huitzilopochtli. In this ritual, they had a clay pot that had some goods in it that was beaten out with a stick, and those were called like offerings to the god. The Mayans had something else where they had a clay pot that was also used by players who were blindfolded and they had to hit it. We have some accounts of the Catholic missions using it to sort of beat away the devil or the 7 deadly sins. Now that has really evolved now.
Today is like a point of joy.
Favorite part about piñatas or having a piñata is the candy after.
Here in my office, I have a picture on my desk that's of my mom. One of the things she's always done is ask the kids, what piñata do you want for your birthday? I'm gonna make each of you your favorite piñata. So this is always like a a beautiful memory we're gonna have.
The best part that we have here is see the kids' face when they come and pick up their piñata for their party. They are so excited and they really enjoy it. So that's what really pays off all the effort.
People need an opportunity to come and just and experience nature, to experience the serenity of what it feels like to sit on the lake shore and hear the leaves rustling and the waves of the lake lapping against the shore.
Even on a cold, blustery day, there's an amazing calmness about being near the water, watching nature, or maybe trying to lure largemouth bass into biting. But there's a storm brewing around our state parks, and if lawmakers don't do something, the public may never see these waters again.
The state of Texas has made a vast amount of improvements. We've cut in hiking trails and put in camping spaces. We've got 2 boat ramps for people can use.
Fairfield Lake was created in 1969 by damming Big Brown Creek to make a cooling reservoir for the Big Brown power plant. The state leased the land around it for a park in 1976.
Last year, we welcomed just over 80,000 visitors.
In 2018, the power plant was decommissioned and eventually demolished in April of 2021. Almost 2 years later came more shocking news. Vistra Corporation, which ran the plant, was selling the 5,000-acre site.
Yeah, it's been a real gut punch to me and the folks here.
An investment firm in Dallas is planning to build a private, gated community.
There will be no more access to the lake, no more camping opportunities, fishing opportunities, boating opportunities, so the public will no longer be allowed into the state park nor access to Fairfield Lake.
Todd Interest reportedly wasn't willing to negotiate, and they didn't return our phone call.
Oh, I'm very confident that we're going to save this state park.
So Angela Orr, who represents the Fairfield area in the Texas House, co-authored House Bill 4757, which requires whoever owns the land and lake to get TCEQ and Texas Parks and Wildlife's permission before a drop of water is removed from the lake. Then an amendment was added to ensure historical public access, meaning gated community or not, anybody can use the lake.
Well, that's been the goal all along, is to get to the table to talk.
This bill does that?
I think this bill gets the parties back to the table so that we can have a conversation about it. And I think the result of that conversation will be that we save the state park.
Fairfield is not the only state park in that situation. There are 15 leased from private organizations. The 2 closest to us, Lake Casablanca in Laredo and Choke Canyon, just 100 miles south of San Antonio.
Very supportive, both on the House side and the Senate side.
Senator Charles Schwertner also represents the Fairfield Lake area and says the legislature isn't stopping there.
The state has put in millions, tens of millions of dollars in improvements since 1976 in the state park. And so that needs to be recognized as well.
Schwertner says amendments in the state budget examine all the state park leases, and work is being done to make sure the state gets first crack at any current leased park land whenever it sells.
If we do have that option and the opportunity to lease essentially for free a piece of property and turn it into a state park, that the state's interests are protected and that we're first in line and we have a right of first refusal if that property owner decides to divest of that property.
Many of the leased parks are federal lands, so the chances are low this situation could come up again. But until the governor signs the bill, there is that chance.
We have so little access as it stands now, and losing just any piece of that would be a tragedy.